If it's busted, we're doomed. We'll all be drowned or captured by Mexican pirates.
Oh, he's sleeping, so just pipe down. Number one, pirates have not been spotted in Mexico since Vasco da Gama. Number two, so what if the engine conks out? What do you think we're going to do? Float till we fall off the end of the universe? Get swallowed by a whale?
The patrol boats.
Patrol boats, schmo boats. I happen to be an expert on engines. You know what? I used to own my own boat.
You did?
Yeah, so if you will cease with the histrionics, I can control the situation. Just trust me.
Oh, fine, trust you.
Uh-huh.
But what about her?
What about her?
She's been acting very oddly. She's always been strange. Now I find out she's a dangerous woman who murdered a man, and we're stuck in the middle of the ocean with her and a broken-down engine.
Just leave Kelly to me.
Fine. And after she murders you, and I'm left all alone with her.
Owen. Just, you are not in the institution anymore, all right? Nobody's after you. Best thing you can do, Owen, is make yourself scarce right now.
Good.
I got an idea. Why don't you meditate on the engine? Project alpha waves at it. You know, good vibes. That way, it'll be all conditioned by the time I get to fixing it.
I bet you never owned a boat in your life.
I love you. I do. Now go. Come on. Easy. It's okay. This is a dream, a bad dream.
I was there with him.
It's all right. You're
No.
safe.
We were in a hotel room. He was there.
Who? I don't understand. Dylan?
Yes. Dylan and... I killed him.
Oh, no, wait a minute. He was threatening you, wasn't he? What did he do?
I don't know. Earl, I don't know, but... maybe I did kill Dylan in cold blood. Jane. What are you doing?
Where were you, Mr. Timmons? Can you demonstrate your whereabouts elsewhere on the evening in question?
Yes, I can. And I can prove it.
Would you please tell us what that proof is?
Well, Your Honor, I was with another woman that night.
And what is the identity of that woman?
Her name is Gina Capua.
You are lying. You weren't with her. You were with me. He is lying.
Counsel.
Your Honor.
Would you please tell your client that even though this is a preliminary hearing, that there is a certain decorum and that she must obey?
Oh, I wish you hadn't come.
I'm sorry. But I had to be here.
Yeah.
You must be going through hell. I wish there was something I could do.
There is. You could get as far away from all of this as possible.
I'm staying.
Anyone ever tell you to knock or yoo-hoo before you come barging in on somebody?
Hey, I'm sorry. I thought I can come and go as I please since I do live here. Where did you get all this?
Do you mind?
Oh, this is not your style. Are you going to a costume party?
I'm just messing around. Yeah, I never understood what the big attraction to the makeup business was, so sometimes I like to see what I can do with it just for kicks.
Uh-huh. Do you have a boyfriend?
Get serious. The man has not been born yet that could handle a woman like me. That's right, I forgot.
Well, hey, don't let me stop you. You know, I think you should wear some to work someday.
Not on your life.
I'll get that.
Hi.
Oh.
You mind if I come on in?
Sure. I mean, no.
Hi, Ted.
Jane? Would you mind if we had a few minutes alone?
Me, TC.
Thank you.
Well, I hope this is going to be brief. I was just on my way down to the beach, cut some rays.
Well, I just kind of wanted to talk to you.
About what?
About us?
I thought us didn't exist anymore.
That's fine with you?
It's going to have to be, isn't it? I mean, that's the way you want it. Don't you?
You know, you're not making this any easier for me.
What is it you want to say?
Well, I don't like it right now the way it is between us. I mean, are we supposed to just keep on going on like this?
I don't know. Do you know a better way? For all I know, Dylan was up there so I could kill him.
Shirley, would you come off it? Who do you think you are, Lizzie Borden? You are not a killer.
Yeah, well, maybe not now, Pearl, but what about before? We don't know about before.
You would never, ever hurt anybody intentionally.
Maybe I just went crazy just for that instant. Something just may have triggered me.
Kelly,
But
just...
Well, Pearl, look what happened to me. I was completely out of it. I didn't know who or where I was. I still don't know half the time.
Well, that's perfectly understandable. You were in shock. I mean, who wouldn't be? You were trying to block out what had just happened.
Exactly, because it was something terrible that I did. I was responsible, Pearl.
Kelly, man is a creature of instinct. You acted on that instinct. He was about ready to do you great bodily harm.
No, I don't know that, Pearl. The only thing I know, the only thing I can remember is how much I hated him. I hated him so much I wanted to kill him, and I did.
You have to believe in yourself. I believe in you.
Now, how? How can anyone know what a person is capable of, Pearl? I think you're just believing what you want to believe.
Kelly, you can't go jumping to conclusions until you know exactly what happened. You can't believe the worst in yourself. You just can't.
I can't believe what's going on in there. I mean, Santana is all over the place. First she took responsibility, now she says Keith was in the car with her.
Do you think she's telling the truth?
I don't know. I don't know what the truth is anymore. I thought I did. Apparently I'm the only one who didn't.
That's why I was out at Inspiration Point when I was hit. I wanted to see if they were together.
Now, why did you want to know that?
I think you know why.
Keith is in there right now trying to prove she's lying. He's denying that he was in the car with her.
Do they believe him?
He says he has an alibi.
Do you believe
It
him?
hardly matters, since if the judge believes him, then Santana is done.
Was there anything anybody can do to stop it?
I don't think I'd stop it if I could. Anyway, it started now. It's got to finish.
What else? Cruz.
Eden, I don't know if I believe her. As much as I want to. As much as I know that I'm the reason that she's in this kind of trouble. Every single thing I've done since the beginning has been wrong.
You shouldn't say that.
It's true. I mean, she's my wife. She's in there fighting to keep her life from falling apart because of me. No, don't. You should Go home. You don't have to be involved in this mess.
I'm not going anywhere. I was the one that was hit. And I have a right to hear the truth.
Well, you're not going to find the truth in there. I'd like to head out the door and keep going right now, but I can't. That's an advantage you have. You can just walk away from this. And that's exactly what you should do.
You are lying, Gina. You'll make up any kind of a story just to get Brandon back.
You're the one telling stories, Santana.
Your Honor,
Yes.
don't you see that Gina and Keith cooked up this whole alibi?
You just can't stand hearing that Keith was with another woman.
No,
can
that
you?
is a lie. He was with me. We weren't going to see each other anymore, and we were just calling the whole thing off.
I will not allow any more outbursts of this kind.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
What is she doing here?
I need you to sit down right now. Let's go.
Is that all?
Yes, for the time being.
Thank you.
Mrs. Capwell,
Yes,
this
Your
is
Honor.
only a preliminary hearing, and you're under no obligation to do so. But since you have already volunteered some information, would you mind answering a few questions?
Of course not.
Mrs. Capwell, how would you characterize your relationship with Keith Timmons?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say we were almost always at least a 9. But on the night in question, we were definitely a 10.
No more facetious comments like that, Mrs. Capwell. Do you understand?
Excuse me.
Now, how long were you with Keith Timmons on the evening in question?
Let's see. I'd say from about 9 p.m. till 1 in the morning. So it could have been a little longer. Sort of lost track of time after a while.
Then you're not exactly sure?
Well, wait a minute. Yes, I am. Because after we made love, Keith turned on the radio, and that's when we heard the call about Eden.
And then he left soon afterwards.
Well, naturally, being friends of Eden's, we rushed off to the hospital.
I see. Did Mr. Timmons mention Mrs. Castillo to you that evening?
Yes, a lot. He said that she'd been terribly upset and acting very strangely. Apparently, just the mention of Eden Capwell's name made her fly into a rage.
I understand that you had a conversation with Eden Capwell earlier that evening. Now, does the subject of Santana come up at that time?
I spoke to Eden. Well, I guess I should be honest.
Please.
I told Eden that I thought there was a possibility that Keith and Santana might be meeting at Inspiration Point. Keith had mentioned it earlier. And I didn't realize I was going to be ending up with Keith later myself.
So you talked to Eden?
Yes, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I thought if Eden actually saw Keith and Santana for herself, that it might get back to Cruz.
Are you saying that you wanted Mr. Castillo to be aware of his wife's infidelity?
Yes, I did. You see, Santana has custody of my son. And I don't think he should be brought up in a home where this sort of thing is going on. It just isn't right.
I see.
I shouldn't have to just close my eyes and ignore this kind of flagrant immorality.
And did Keith Timmons, in fact, go to Inspiration Point to meet Mrs. Castillo that night?
Oh, no. Apparently my timing was off. Their relationship had been terminated.
Why, did he say?
Well, he...
Go on.
It's probably not important. I don't think you'd be interested.
We are interested in anything that pertains to this case.
As I mentioned earlier, he said that Santana had been terribly upset, and he just couldn't take it anymore, that all of her anger seemed to focus on Eden Capwell. He said...
Go on. What did Mr. Timmons say?
He said that she was almost violent. Those are the words he used, almost violent.
Your Honor, this is all a lie. Don't you see that she's lying?
I just don't think that this fighting is getting us anywhere.
Where would you like us to go?
Well, I think that, if we're going to be working together, seeing each other every day, that we might as well work something out, so we can get along.
That's it? I think that's what you're going after?
Yeah.
Fine. Fine, I'll be glad to give you a big smile when I bump into you at the coffee machine. You can do the same thing for me.
No, look, Haley, I don't... Why do you have to be this way?
Me? Why don't you listen to yourself?
You think this is easy for me? I did not have to just come on over here and talk to you like this. I just thought that maybe if we opened up a little bit... Haley, I've been thinking about you. A lot. And I want things to get better between us.
I want that too. I've missed you. And I've been hoping that... Well, I've been waiting for you to come over.
Yeah?
Glad you did. What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just...
What?
It's just that I don't want you to get the wrong idea.
Which is?
Which is that, I came over here kind of hoping that we'd get a truce. Make up. Not everything has changed,
So that means you still feel the same way about me then?
Well, I can't just forget about how you deceived me. That's asking a lot. Come on.
Oh, am I asking?
No, I'm just telling you that...
I understand perfectly well. You don't need to explain anything. You just want everything to go nice and smooth at work. Thank you, Mr. Capel, for being very honest with me.
Well, see, that's what I'm trying to be, honest with you.
Oh, and I'm obviously not very honest at all, very dishonest in your eyes, and I have to keep my distance. Well, I can sure see you know how to hold a grudge.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't come over here so we could just get into all of this.
Then don't.
It does not have to be this way.
I will be civil to you, but right now I want you to get the hell out of here.
You want me to leave?
Yes, I want you to go.
Well, I just thought, now wait a minute, that we could just talk.
I don't want a talk. I want to kill you right now, so will you just go?
A good idea. I should have left a lot sooner.
What was that all about? What happened?
You understand this hearing is to determine if a crime has been committed.
Yes, I understand.
All right, then please sit down. Now, Miss Catwell, what were you doing out on the road at Inspiration Point that night?
I was there to see if what Gina had said was true. If Keith and Santana were together, they were having an affair.
And may I ask what your interest in this matter was?
I was very close to Cruz Castillo once. We're still friends. And I couldn't stand to see him being hurt by a wife who was being unfaithful to him.
You wanted him for yourself. That's why you were there, to steal my husband.
Mrs. Castillo, you will be removed from these chambers if this behavior continues. Now, please be seated. Miss Capwell, did anyone other than Gina Capwell know you were out on that road?
No. At least I don't know how they could have found out unless Gina told them. Gina has never been very good at keeping secrets.
All right, then. Thank you.
Your Honor, if it's all right with you, I would like to ask Mrs. Capwell some questions.
Mrs. Capwell, do you mind?
Of course not. Anything to help. All right, fire away.
How long have you known Eden Capwell?
A couple of years, I guess.
Were you very close?
I consider her to be a friend. I saved her life once.
If I asked Eden right now at this very second if she considered you a friend, what do you think she'd say?
I don't know. All right, maybe we're not best friends, but so what?
I was sort of wondering why you went to all the trouble that you did to get her out on the road that night.
That's very simple. Because I knew I could not break up Santana and Cruz myself, but with Eden involved, it should be a snap.
I see.
I don't hate Eden. Santana's the one that's always hated Eden's guts. I've even heard her threaten Eden if she didn't stay away from Cruz.
Now, you heard the threats. You witnessed them?
Yes, it happened while I was there. Santana was in my room a couple of days before the accident.
Is something wrong?
Just remembering something. It's probably just a coincidence.
Just come out with it, Mrs. Capwell.
Well, I had this notation on the pad next to the phone. It said, call Eden regarding the meeting at Inspiration Point. Keith said 9 would be fine. Well, it never occurred to me before, but maybe Santana saw it. Maybe she knew Eden was going to be out there that night.
Santana.
Santana, please. Your Honor, may I have 5 minutes alone with my wife, please?
That's pretty shrewd work, Gina, but framing Santana for attempted murder wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Just consider it the icing on the cake.
You've got a lot of gall, lady. You weren't supposed to take it as far as that. How dare you go up there and crucify her like that?
Well, I'm touched, Keith. I guess you really do care for Santana.
Gina, I know you're lying.
I resent that. I am not
I know
lying.
Santana well enough to know she wouldn't try to kill me. The whole idea is ridiculous.
Maybe you're just feeling guilty.
Guilty.
That's right. You know you're the cause of the problems between Cruz and Santana.
I don't believe that.
She had the motive. She hasn't been acting herself lately. Everybody knows how wigged out she's been.
And it must be obvious that that ludicrous story was something she made up to show that she and I were in the car together. You know?
And now she's run away.
Let go of me. I just want to go home.
Running
I want
away
to
is not
take
gonna
my things,
help.
take my son, and just get out of here.
You think they're not going to come after you? It's going to make you look more guilty is what it's going to do.
What difference does it make? I can't fight it anyway. I just don't have the strength.
Listen, it's not true what they're saying, is it?
Yes, it's true. In all of your mind. So what can I say? There's nothing I can do to fight it.
Santana, if you really didn't know you hit her, if it didn't happen deliberately, you've got to make that clear to the
Even
judge.
you would believe Keith and Gina before you'd even believe me. Just a little while ago, you wouldn't have trusted a word that came out of their mouth.
If you don't
But now,
calm down and stop flying off the handle, that judge is not going to have a chance to
no,
understand
I
what
am
you're
the
talking
one who
about.
doesn't have a chance. I don't have a chance, don't you see? I have no chance.
Okay, we have you there alone, waiting in the presidential suite.
Right. And I remember having flowers and champagne and just walking around making sure everything was ready.
For Dylan.
No, I didn't want to see him. I didn't even know he knew where I was. And
Well, then what? So what happened? He just showed up?
yes, there was a knock on the door. And I didn't want to let him in. And he was forcing his way inside, and we were there alone. And then he started coming closer and closer to me, and he was trying to touch me. And then he started touching me, Pearl, and I didn't want him to. I hated him. And
He what, Kelly?
he wanted to make love to me.
What? Oh, wait, just spit it out.
There's land. I saw it. We're coming into the coast of Mexico.
is all your fault, you know. Your meddling in my marriage has cost me everything that I've got.
Santana, dear.
And now you've got everything that you want. Well, this has all worked out nicely for you, hasn't it?
Maybe if you just tell the truth, everything
No, I have never stopped telling the truth. You're the ones who want to believe all the lies.
Santana, the judge has a few more questions that she would like to ask you. Now, do you think you can answer them?
Yes. I'm ready.
USB.
I wanted to catch you when you weren't on the air.
Yeah, well, I'm going on in a few minutes. So what's up?
You sound so cold. I was hoping you'd be a little happier to hear from me.
Well, it's just been a long day. So, where you been?
I guess I've been sulking around. I got this idea that you weren't interested in me anymore.
Well, that's not exactly it. It's just that, I'm looking for a person who's, well, who will listen to me, who I can talk to. Someone who's not gonna blindfold me and feed me whipped cream.
Didn't you like spending time together?
Oh, of course I did. It's just that right now I need a person, not just a body.
Really, you sound like you've been doing some serious thinking. That is a very liberated approach to being with a woman. Have you ever had a relationship like that?
Yeah? Yeah, I did, and I lost her.
Who was she?
Well, she was my girlfriend, Haley. That's exactly what she was, too. She was a friend.
You must feel pretty bad.
I've been better.
Well, I am not that much of a talker, but I can be a pretty good listener. Maybe we should get together and you can talk to me all you want.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You'd feel better. I know you would. Where would you like to meet?
Well, actually, I can't really meet you because I'm starting my shift any minute now. Wait. Tell you what, the station is, empty right now. You can come on over here if you want to.
Okay, I'll be right over.
Wait, you will?
Don't go away.
Anybody here? Y'all get a key? Buenos tardes. Espero que no te molestamos, pero queremos comida, es posible.
See, I can make food for you.
What? That's great. Well, what happened to the place? Where is everybody? You're the only one here?
Oh, they're all asleep. There was a fiesta here last night. Too much tequila. Very crazy, very late.
You party hard down here, eh? Huh?
I cook.
Gracias, señorita. What is it all?
This place is depressing. I don't want to stay here.
Depressing? You, my friend, are a revolt in development. Tell you what, why don't you go down to the waterfront? See if somebody can sell some of that good engine oil, okay? Kelly and I are going to have a little snack. We'll get right back to you. You got it?
I got it.
Okay. Hey, Miss Alita Linda. You okay?
Sure.
You feeling all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Over here. I want to show you this map I got here. You see that right there? This is us right here. Now, this Macintosh character, he's got to be somewhere right over here, Ensenada.
How far is that?
And by boat, I would say it's 1 or 2 days.
Pearl, that's going to take 2 days. That's too far.
No, what is this, a little cruise? No problem. Okay. And what's the matter?
You thinking about what we were talking about before?
I can't help it.
Hey, let it go. Pretty soon everything is gonna start coming up roses.
No, I'd like to let it go.
Then do it.
Hey, what have we got here? Wow. What, hot sauce? Gracias,
We have to get out of here.
What do you mean we have to get?
I just saw a policeman. He was nosing around the docks, and he followed me back here, and he was looking at me funny.
Owen, we have nothing to fear. We did nothing wrong.
Oh, no?
Look, I'm gonna take Kelly back to the boat. We'll get going as soon as possible. If you don't mind, we'll take this to go. Okay? Gracias, señorita. Everything is gonna be okay. Let's boogie.
Okay, here is 1,800 hours of uninterrupted music for whatever you want to do with it. Start World War III for all I care. Here it is, guys. I'll be back with you all in 30.
Hi, Ted.
Jane, what are you doing here?
I work here, remember?
Well, I know you do, but it's not your shift today, right?
Yeah, I got some work to catch up on. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's okay. No, actually, it's not.
So what is the matter with you?
Nothing, no. It's just that I'm meeting somebody here, and I was wondering if maybe you could do your work, maybe another room or at home, probably.
Who's the lucky woman? It is a woman, isn't it? You wouldn't be acting so squirrely for just some guy.
I'm meeting Roxanne here.
Ah. Well, don't worry about me. I wouldn't dream of bothering you, too. Although, actually, I kind of like to meet the infamous femme fatale.
Well, see, that's the problem. You know, she's probably not going to show up if you're here, you know. I mean, she's kind of shy.
Roxanne shy?
So if you wouldn't mind just taking your coffee and going on outside, please?
No, I think I'm going to stay right here. Maybe I can get an interview.
Oh, boy. Great. Okay, all right, fine. That's the way you want to do it? I'm not going to fight with you. In fact, I don't even need her. Roxanne's not the answer to my problems anyway.
Yeah? So what is?
Apologizing to Haley. Probably. Saying that I can do that, though.
Why not?
Stubbornness. Pride. I don't know. The capital part of me just won't let me do it. It's probably too late anyway.
I do that, too.
What? Do what?
What you do with Haley. I hold back what I'm really feeling just out of pride. Doesn't do much good, does it?
No. Weird, isn't it? I mean, why do we do this?
I guess it's because we're scared. Scared of not being liked, being rejected. I think maybe we're all just scared of being hurt.
Yeah, maybe. Get back to your paperwork. I want to take it.
No, I don't care, really.
Oh, come on. You always do.
I know. I think sometimes I can let up.
And listen to me? Come on, you must be running a fever there.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks.
I said he needs someone to talk to.
Mrs. Castillo, have you ever meant Eden Capwell harm? Mrs. Castillo?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I never meant her any harm.
Did you see the memo Gina Capwell mentioned at her apartment?
No, I never saw it.
Did you intentionally run Eden Capwell down?
No, I am telling you that I never even knew that she was out there.
Mrs. Castillo, several people testified that you hated Eden Capwell. Is that true? Is it true that you hated Miss Capwell?
She tried to steal my husband away from me. She did everything she could to try to take him away from me. Phone calls in the middle of the night, meetings, so-called emergencies. Every time they were in the room together, they couldn't keep their eyes off of each other. Cruz tried to make it seem like there was nothing going on, but there was something. It was strong. You could feel it was unmistakable. That's why I got myself involved with Keith Timmons, so that I could prove to myself and to my husband that maybe somebody could find me as irresistible as Cruz obviously found Eden. Then Eden went after Keith. Don't you see? Eden tried to destroy every chance at happiness that I ever had. She even got involved with Gina. They both wanted to wreck my marriage. Gina wanted to take my son away from me, and Eden wanted to take my husband. Yes, I hated Eden. My God, I hated her. She's the reason that everything went wrong. She didn't deserve Cruz. He was too good for her. All she ever did was try to get him into trouble. Cruz would have been so much happier without her. Eden destroys everybody's happiness.
I see. That'll be all, Mrs. Castillo.
Wait. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just haven't been myself lately. I don't know why. Now none of you are going to believe me. But you have to believe me. Somebody has to believe me. Please, will you believe me?
Your Honor, I would like a consultation with my client, please.
You'll have plenty of time for that before the trial date. In view of the testimony that we have heard today, I am going to recommend that Mrs. Castillo be indicted.
No.
Of course, the charges will be determined by the grand jury, but I will be recommending that she undergo a psychiatric examination. And then if Mrs. Castillo is found competent to stand trial, I will recommend charges of hit-and-run driving and attempted vehicular manslaughter. This hearing is adjourned.
Want a sip?
No,
Why not? You're thirsty? It's kind of hot out there.
well, actually, I only drink diet soda.
Oh, no. Are you serious? You dieting? Look at you. You look like $1 million. You are gorgeous. Where are you going? Did I say something wrong?
No, I don't feel that way, that's all.
I'm sorry, but you happen to be suffused with gorgeosity.
Well, thanks.
You don't like hearing that, do you? Why not?
I don't know, it makes me feel awkward, I don't know. Maybe because, when I used to be real tall for my age back when I was in junior high school, and I was real self-conscious, and I never thought I was pretty. And then in high school, guys started staring at me, and that's when they started talking about me.
Well, of course, so who wouldn't stare at you?
Well, I hated the way they stared and talked about me. Like the way,
What?
Dylan stared at me. Like he wanted to possess me, or he wanted to make love to me. And all I ever wanted was someone to hold me and that be okay. Men always seem to want something from me. And I don't always have anything to give. No, Pearl, you're different. You don't want anything from me. I mean, not like that, you don't.
Well, I'm your friend. We're friends, right? What I want is for you to get better. It's like I've been saying all along. That way we can help each other get on with our lives.
Yeah, if I don't have to spend the rest of mine in prison.
Carolee, don't say that. Please,
well, Pearl,
don't.
the closer we get to the truth, the closer we are to that possibility.
It's just wrong to accentuate the negative. Think of the positive. First we get you well, then we deal with the courtroom trials.
You know something?
Why?
I'm not scared about going to prison or having to go back to Dr. Rawlings.
No.
Just the idea that we'll be separated. Bro, you're my best friend. I really don't want to lose you.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Dr. Rawlings? Yes, it's me, Owen. Well, I'm still alive. We're in Mexico. Yes. And we're about to leave for Ensenada.
Don't come near me. I said stay away from me. I don't trust you. I don't trust any of you.
Santana,
I know what you all think. Get rid of Santana and you'll all solve all of your problems. Well, I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to do
Don't you
anything.
even talk to me. You're just like all the others. You're all conspirators in this plot to get rid of me. Well,
Let's
hate
go,
you.
Santana. Let's go.
Come on. I hate all of you.
Cruz,
What?
I know you're upset. I can understand that, but I just want you to know that I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to say those things.
Then why did you say them?
Because the truth.
The truth.
That's all we're interested in.
All right, you listen up, both of you. Do I have your undivided attention?
Sure.
If I find out that you lied about anything in there, I'm going to take you apart. Personally.
Cruz,
Don't you say word one to me, man. I don't want to hear it.
Tonight's a night of action, starting with Michael Knight and Knight Rider. After that, spend a cool summer evening with the hottest twosome on television, Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs on a hot Miami Vice. Then Stingray's a different kind of American hero, and when he asks you a favor you can't refuse, Stingray's the one to call when you can't call anyone else. Tonight on NBC.